Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo and welcome to my scrapbook table. Today I am playing along with Ginger's Corner. They're doing some speedy scrapbooking things and there are sketches for us to follow. This one is by Mallory and I'm not sure how to say her last name, perhaps Ubre? I'm not sure. Anyway, I decided to use this sketch because I can get several photos on there, and I don't know that I will do the long title over here. I may not, but I am going to have some borders along the edges. So let me show you what I have. I have photos from Fallingwater, a house designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. And I did some of these earlier. And I have this page that is 6 by 12. It's just a pocket page. It's either going to go in between these two 12 by 12s or right after these 12 by 12s. And that is all I'm going to do, plus the one I've already finished for Fallingwater. It is in Western Pennsylvania, tiny little area southeast of Pittsburgh, I believe. And we were there just about a year ago. And it's beautiful. It's a very peaceful place. We really enjoyed the tour. I have lived within 2.5 hours of there my entire life, and this was the first time I went. Anyway, this layout, I'm either going to love it when I'm done or I'm going to hate it. I'm not sure. I'm going way out of my usual style, but let me show you what I have to work with. I picked this up. Creative Memories sold these long ago. There is a date, 2011. I picked this up at a thrift shop for about $4 a couple months ago. And it's several 12 by 12 sheets, lots of 4.5 by 6.5 pieces for matting photos. But I don't have any embellishments that go with it. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But here's what I have done. I went through Pinterest and I looked at mood boards and art that go with mid-century modern decor. And the Frank Lloyd Wright house is a mid-century modern home. And so I just wanted to get a feel for what art would have fit that style. And it was very geometric shapes. And I picked a color palette that worked. And so what I did, and I will try to put a photo up of the piece that inspired me the most to create these little pieces of paper. But I made some templates for myself and I created these. It's not quite tissue paper. It's not quite vellum. Stampin' Up! Used to sell it. I think it came on a roll. Anyway, it's got some grid lines in it, but not perfect grid lines. And I just made these 4 geometric shapes. I wish I had done a 5th one, but I didn't, and I'm just going to make it work. I'm not going to get that stuff out again. So these remind me of the artwork that I saw on Pinterest. And again, I'll put that up in a second. So somehow I'm going to incorporate those into my layout. The other thing I saw was a shape like this. So I used this stencil and some picket fence paper glazes. This is velvet finish. One is called Clementine Preserves, Cream Puff, and Tropical Cocktail. And I just put them through there, and where they met, I wanted them to kind of blend together. That did not work real well. I'm going to go ahead and do a small portion of that on this side, but it's not going to be exactly the same. It's going to be closer to, let me see that, there we go, closer to this edge and have less of the brown paper. That's all I know at the moment, so I'm going to get started, map my photos, do a little bit of this, and then I have to figure out embellishments. I'll be back. I decided to go ahead and film this last little bit of mixed media on here. I'm just using a palette knife. It's just plastic. I did put some tape on there. That one did not want to stick for some reason. And it doesn't really matter because it's just going to get on my glass mat and it wipes off pretty easily. I bought these 3 texture paste things, whatever they're called, at the same time, and 2 of them are nice and creamy and easy to work with, and that orangey tangerine one is not. It's almost dry. I'm going to try to add a little water to it and see if I can salvage it. This is the first time I've used it, so it's not that it sat open or that the lid wasn't on tight or something, so I'm not sure what's up with that one. But I am going to try to salvage it. And here I'm just doing a little bit of overlap so they blend just a bit. And then my favorite part is lifting off the stencil. This stuff dries pretty quickly. I was afraid I was going to have to let it sit for an hour or so while I did something like clean house or something useful like that, but I did not need to. I thought about adding a little thin strip of brown on the other edge, but I didn't. Maybe I should have, I'm not sure. So now I'm deciding where I want these pieces and where I want the photos. I've matted the photos in just some of the mats that came in this kit. Some are like a creamy color, which matches the texture paste nicely. Some are a brown, and one is a real pale green. And eventually I realize that 2 of the pictures are exactly the same. They're just, I printed one in landscape and one in portrait mode. Here I've cut some journaling strips and I just wrote some facts about the house. It was designed and built in the 30s. And even though that is not mid-century, the style, I looked it up just to be sure. The style is mid-century, has a mid-century modern aesthetic. So the people in the know say about it. And there I had to refill my tape runner. And I'm just getting these. And here's where I realize, oh, that's exactly the same as that one. So I just set it aside and move some things around a bit. I decided I wanted this one to overlap just a little bit. So I moved it in. And since I had no embellishments whatsoever that would work for this, I printed some images from online with my photo printer. I'm just putting a little bit of glaze over them because it gives them a little bit nicer finish than if they were just printed on plain paper. I buff it off with a cloth and trim them all out with my trimmer. And there they are. So now I'm deciding where I want them. One I am using as my title, and it's that one. You can't see the title well on screen, but in person it says Fallingwater in the font that is used in some of their promotional material. And that's just a little image of Fallingwater of one of the rooms that I thought shows the mid-century modern furniture type stuff. So I added that there. And I just mount some of these on each of the 4 shapes that I created. I did use frayed burlap distress oxide, pardon me, to add some ink to the edges of the journaling strips and all of the little shapes. And I don't show it, but I do pop all those up on some extra cardstock. I'm just about to the end, running out of time here. The still shots are coming up. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thanks, Mallory, for the great sketch. Here are the still shots. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And by the way, I reached 750 subscribers, so I'm really excited about that. Thank you for joining me. I really hope that you get to scrapbook something very soon. Bye-bye.